Hey, welcome back to NerdCrave. I've been waiting to make this video for about 6 weeks now. I've been waiting for this new shirt to come in the mail, and it finally came tonight, so I'm pretty pleased to make this video. I wanted to talk to you guys about a new indie magazine, and I guess it's not all that new. I discovered this magazine through Metal Jesus' E3 video from last year. He showcased this magazine. It's Old School Gamer Magazine. And I thought I'd take a minute and just kind of talk about gaming magazines in general. Now, I think there's a lot of nostalgia out there for gaming magazines. We all look back fondly on the days of Nintendo Power, of the Xbox magazine, PlayStation magazines, Electronic Gaming Monthly. There's some real gems hidden in these magazines, and there's something about the format of a hard copy that you just can't replicate online. And in this day and age, you can go and get any piece of information that you want online, whether it's from a website, whether it's from YouTube or a walkthrough or wherever you go to get your gaming information, even right here on NerdCrave. But there's something to be said for having a curated collection of information delivered to you every month. You flip open the magazine, you never know what you're going to find. You're going to discover new things. I'm just looking at this random Nintendo Power, Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge. There's a game I've never played, so read a little bit about this. I may, in fact, discover that I want to play this game and go out and find it. There's a highlight here on Game & Wario, some Scribblenauts stuff. You can't replace this idea of having a curated selection of gaming information, news, reviews, and all of this kind of stuff brought to you in a nice little package once a month in your mailbox. And a lot of people are missing that now. Like these Nintendo Powers, I'm going back and buying gaming magazines now and Nintendo Powers, and a lot of gaming stores now are selling these things like they're gold. My local game store sells Nintendo Powers for between $10 and $30 a piece, depending on which issue it is. Now, most of these I found on my local Facebook buy and sell groups and Kijiji, Craigslist, things like that. And I found these for a couple of dollars a piece in lots of 10 or 15 magazines here and there. And I love to go back and peruse all of these old magazines. But the fact is, there's really nothing out there for us console gamers. You can still get PC Gamer, but that's about the only magazine I ever see on any magazine rack that's related to gaming. All of these magazines, PlayStation Magazine, Xbox Magazine, they're all gone. They're not being made anymore. So what do you do to scratch that itch? Well, this new indie magazine, Old School Gamer Magazine, and I've got a copy here that I recently got. They're scratching that itch. These magazines are really decent because they do a lot of retro reviews. This one here is talking about Yar's Revenge on the Atari. There's a 30-year retrospective here of the TurboGrafx 16. Some really interesting articles. Yeah, there's an article here on plug-and-play games, Tetris Attack. So it's an interesting presentation, and it's a really interesting way that they are distributing these magazines. Rather than going through a major distribution company, they are actually selling these magazines with a Patreon subscription. So you go on to Patreon, you pay $5-ish a month, or per issue. You just subscribe and forget it, and they send you in the mail a new copy of the magazine. And the great thing is, all of the artwork in these magazines, on the covers and stuff, is original artwork that they have people make up. And with the magazine, every month, they ship a full-size poster of the cover, which is fantastic. The little extra details that they go into. I've been subscribing to these guys now since E3 time last year when Metal Jesus mentioned this magazine. And I gotta tell you, it is fantastic to go to the mailbox and find something like we did back in the 90s, to find a subscription to a magazine, to be able to flip through, get interesting articles, great artwork, some really interesting perspectives. And I've actually discovered several retro games that I either didn't know about or just didn't really think were good until I read about them and realized that there's more to them than I thought there was, and that's really the purpose of this. For a collector, I think every video game collector out there should be supporting this magazine, and I'll tell you why. We need more of this kind of thing in the marketplace. We need more real, legit gaming stuff, rather than all of this garbage that you can buy at Walmart, all these mini consoles and stuff like that. We've lost everything. I mean, we've lost everything. You know, strategy guides aren't really being made anymore, except for very special edition stuff. You know, magazines are gone. Newspapers are quickly going the way of the dodo, and newspaper comics are pretty much a thing of the past. Print media is dying everywhere, and that's honestly, like, people spend more and more time online. But there is a niche of people who are realizing that the thrill you get out of cracking open a new magazine just cannot be replaced. Like, yes, you can find this information, but it's like finding a needle in a haystack online. You go online, you spend 20 minutes looking for the specific detail that you wanted, and you walk away. But you didn't really get any of the surrounding context to the situation. Being able to sit down and read a magazine like this cover to cover really makes you feel like you're part of something, like you're part of an exclusive club or something. And I think that's kind of what they're going for with this magazine. So do I recommend Old School Gamer Magazine? Absolutely. I'm going to link to their Patreon page down below in the description, and I absolutely recommend, even if it's only for one issue, that you pick up a copy of this and see what it's all about. Alright guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and hey, stay classy.